mason jar problems. Just have to do this. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am taking you on a day in the life. I have a few errands to run. You saw I had a pretty busy morning, but we have a friend visiting. We're really excited we don't get too many visitors just because we live so far away, but he lives here in Colorado, so it's nice that, I don't know, they went this morning and did some guy stuff and he brought us some elk that he got in this year's hunt, so we're gonna make some of that for dinner tonight. And I right now need to head to the grocery store. I'm going to the farm stand. They're actually giving away a lot of their vegetables, a lot of the end of the season vegetables. I know a lot of places do that, so if you have a longer growing season like I do, definitely look into that. But I'm gonna get some more tomato plants. Hopefully they have some kale left. I went with the kids and it was just a little chaotic, so I didn't get to get what I wanted, but I don't know. I want to get a bunch of stuff, but I need to dial it back a bit. It's super inexpensive. Like she was talking about just giving it to us because she just has so many plants that she doesn't want to go to waste. And we go there a lot, so I feel bad taking it. So of course I want to go and buy something. I did have some comments on the last video about suggestions for the prepper pantry, so I think I'm gonna grab a few of those things. But today is just a nice day in the life. I'm gonna try and answer some Q&A questions while I cook tonight, and then I'm also gonna give you a thrift haul. So I'm really excited. It's a beautiful day in Colorado, but it's very warm. I'm excited to get into the air conditioning and shop by myself, and I'm excited to take you along. So here we go. Welcome to another day in the life. Got the girls, got a whole flat of tomatoes. I bought some honey sticks just for the kids, but he insisted that I just take them, and good luck, he said. So hopefully we got a few different varieties here, but on to the next store. Yay. Okay, I'm leaving Walmart. I'm on the way home. I'm gonna get coffee, but can I just say we had record-breaking numbers in Walmart. First of all, the grocery bill came down to $49.58, which is amazing for the week for all of us. We did have a few pantry staples at home, so I shopped my shelves. Secondly, 3 people didn't put their carts back. One just pushed it right down the hill, so that's a record. And then thirdly, there were 4 arrests. 4 people getting arrested at this Walmart. I do it to save money, and I do it to show you that shopping on a budget is easy and you can make it healthy. But my gosh, can we I think pickup is the best route. Just get in and get out of there. But I like to pick my own produce, especially when I'm doing these budget challenges. So we're gonna head home. I will show you what I got at the thrift store. It wasn't a lot, and I didn't get anything for the shop this week. I'm actually really excited. I've been working on my own logo for Mountain Mama Living, and you know, we kind of have one in general, but I mean, I would love your feedback. It would be something that would be on a t-shirt or a coffee mug or a hat or something like that. and I was gonna do a giveaway for when we get to 10K, if you, maybe 2-3 people could get a free item, but of course we want to make everything on our own because we are artists. So I am in the process of designing it. My husband and I are two very different creative types, so he has his opinions on what it should look like, but essentially there's gonna be mountains, some sort of flower or plant, and then I think that's it. We want to keep it simple, and we don't want to keep it too feminine, if that makes sense. I mean, I'm all for it, but when it comes to a brand or a logo, I think across the board, it just looks good if it's simple. That's just my opinion, though, when it comes to my content, if that makes sense. So, yeah. But with the apparel, I'll thrift some of the items, but I'd like to actually just start screen printing on some of my, just some ordered clothing that can be consistent, if that makes sense, because you never know what you're going to get at the thrift store, and that's like the fun part about it. But I want a product that will be consistent and good quality, so that's really important to me. But yeah, we went to the thrift store. I showed you we got the tomatoes. Not really happy with my experience at Walmart. Everyone is very friendly in there, but yeah, if people could just stop committing crimes, that would be really amazing. But we're gonna head home. I'm gonna grab some coffee, and I'll show you what I'm making for dinner. I'm gonna incorporate that elk in some way, and I will answer some of the questions from the Q&A while I'm doing that. So I'll see you at home. Hey friends, I just got back. I think you will see the Walmart grocery haul before you see this video, but I did want to say I'm going to start marinating the elk and getting dinner started. So if you don't enjoy raw meat, you might want to fast forward through this. It's just a simple marinade, and then I will answer some of the questions in the Q&A while I cook. So let's get right into it. All right, here it is. I am going to marinate it with some soy sauce, garlic, a little bit of salt, pepper, olive oil, and go from there. And then I'm gonna get started on our sides over here, but I'm very excited. This is like a proud moment because hunting elk is very difficult, if you didn't know. So pretty cool that he got to share his harvest with us. All right, I have transferred it to a bag here and putting it in a bowl. And I'll just show you the ingredients, but perfect segue into the first question, which was the most common question. 3 people asked this. Were you raised plant-based? And the answer is no, not at all. Very far from it. My parents were not together, and each household ate very differently, very, very differently. So my dad, I think I've mentioned, is a huge fisherman, still does to this day. Salmon fish, trout, I mean, really anything he can catch. But so, I mean, we enjoyed a lot of his fish growing up, and I would say majority of my diet was fish. So I actually was pescatarian for a little bit there. I started toying around the idea of things when I was around 14 or so, but I wouldn't say there was a lot of information available. So, I mean, as a mother now, I understand, like, coming from that standpoint, like your daughter wants to move away from the standard American diet. So was it supported? Yes. I mean, my parents were really supportive of like my choices. I wouldn't say I was the pickiest eater there, but okay, maybe I was a little picky, but I feel like they were really supportive with that decision, and they made food the way I make it for my family now. They never made anything like special for me. Of course, if we enjoyed something, our parents would make it, but I mean, they incorporated what I ate with everybody else's, and I was on and off, and then when I was 18, that's when I was a pescatarian until I met I stopped being a pescatarian in college, yeah, and I just was vegetarian. And then I was vegetarian until we moved to Colorado. Then I was toying around with the idea when I worked at Rock Bottom. They had like a spring special, and they were I don't know, they had like a spring special menu, and I was like, and a lot of it was vegan, and I'm just like, oh, this is possible, I can do this. So that's what I ended up doing. But pause quick, I'm putting olive oil in here, I'm putting liquid smoke, I'm putting soy sauce, a little bit of mustard, and then the Kinder's all-purpose. So yeah, long answer is, short answer is no, I wasn't raised that way. But on my mom's, my stepfather is a hunter. Actually, a lot of people in my family on my mom's side are hunters, so they were more deer. None of them really hunted like bear or anything. It was meat that our family would eat. So, but that's actually pretty common back in PA. A lot of people hunt bear, and if you do, that's totally fine. But I don't know. I don't feel like a lot of people understand it, and to me, that's fine. Like, it's not something you have to understand because it's a personal choice for me, but I do respect hunting. I think, I respect hunting a lot more than, meat processing plants and all of the factory farming. And I just, I respect hunting a lot more. And when I say that and say that I'm plant-based, a lot of people get mad or they get upset, which I don't understand, because it's my personal choice, and if someone were to tell me that, it wouldn't affect me at all. So that's why it's hard to like touch on, but it was one of the most common questions, so I wanted to like get that out of the way. So does it bother me to touch the raw meat? A little bit. Am I made to do it? No, my husband could come up here and do it. I just feel like it's easier for the family. I'm the one preparing the meals. So I'm not really a fan of looking at it myself. That's why I always like put in those warnings before I make them. But if you are a plant-based eater or vegan that follows me, I appreciate you being here, because I do get it's really hard to see someone else's perspective on that and not understand it. But that's how I am. So yeah, long story short, no, I was not raised plant-based or vegan, but I came from a supportive household, and it was really helpful for me. It's always been helpful for me. My parents have been really, really supportive when it comes to any of my decisions. So yeah, I'm gonna let that marinate, get some groceries put away, and then I will meet back up with you, and we will make the sides, and I will finish the rest of the Q&A. All right. Can you see me? Yeah, okay. We are making let me shut the door here. Whenever we have friends come over, which is not often, I make the basics. So with the elk, I'm doing mac and cheese. So I'm gonna shred the cheese. I have Colby. I don't have a method to my mac and cheese. It's whatever I have on hand. And that kind of leads into the first question here, and that is, how do you stay on a budget? And this is how. I've been practicing this since I was little. Honestly, my family is very frugal too. So, but anyways, we are making macaroni and cheese. So I have Colby here, I have cheddar, and then extra sharp. And then we're just gonna do mashed potatoes and then some cornbread. This cornbread's from the Dollar Tree. Really easy. And then I'm gonna have a salad and probably just some regular pasta noodles with no cheese. That's what I like to do, with some extra vegetables. So I have my questions here. I asked about this Q&A when I hit 7K, and I had some computer issues, and it was a whole bunch of things. So if I miss any of the questions, I'm sorry, but I do have them written down, and I have answered some in comments, and I've also answered some in videos. There's been a lot of videos since that Q&A, so I do apologize for that. I know that's kind of annoying, but the first one, is your family supportive of YouTube? And they're actually very supportive. Most of them comment and like the video and watch it. They'll share it with people. My mom has always been very supportive of everything I do. My dad too, but yeah, my mom always has like some really great ideas for me, and she is she's a very positive woman, so it's nice to have her, because I can be very negative. And yeah, all right, let's see if this works. I keep getting cut off, the battery dies, I spilled water all over myself, but in that process I was answering that Q&A. So here we go again. Got a practice in, but that first question was, is your family supportive? They are. And then I said all the rest of them, but it's fine. I don't mind answering again. I shredded some cheese, and I have 1 pound of macaroni noodles boiling, and I peeled some potatoes, so nothing big. But second one, what are your hopes and dreams? I feel like that's a generic question, but I'm here for it. I love questions like that. For the world, if you're asking about the world, I'm gonna sound like Miss Congeniality, but world peace. I would love world peace. Unfortunately, there's always going to be a battle of good and evil, so I don't see that happening. And I'd love, you know, I preach about it all the time, but we're all different. We have all different opinions, and I just don't feel like friendships and relationships need to be ended because your opinion is different from one another. I mean, it's happened in the it's happened since the history of time, but I mean, in the last 3 years or so, it's just been worse and worse. So that's my hopes and dreams for the world. But for us personally, I guess my hope is that my family has their health, which right now we do, and it's coming up on a year since my daughter was diagnosed. By the time you see this, it'll probably be like a year on the day. If you're new here, my daughter was diagnosed with Guillain-Barré, and this is also going to sound generic, but the doctors described her recovery as miraculous. She was the only case at that hospital in the state of Pennsylvania. We happened to be visiting family at that time. In the state of Colorado, we have never met anybody else or heard of any other cases that started at 1 year old, so they still don't know what caused it. But yeah, before that, I wasn't on YouTube so much. I had the channel, but my son, he was in the hospital for a week or two for the human metapneumo virus, and that was really scary. And before that, he was in the NICU for some really high jaundice, essentially some bilirubin levels that were out of control. So like, this sounds selfish. I mean, I hope for the future that we have our health, but like financially, it's been really difficult to recover from all of that. That shouldn't sway you away from having kids if you're thinking about it, because they're amazing, but it's just been a little tricky. So that's my hope for the future. My dream, I think we all know. I'd love to move home. It's just really important to me to be next to my family. But right now with my husband's new job, that's not gonna happen as soon as we thought. It's also very affordable. A lot of people ask that. And I like the small town feel. I like my hometown. So that is my dream, to have some land back home, and by some, a lot of land. I don't want to have neighbors, if that makes sense. And I want to have animals, horses, just everything. That is my dream. But of course, when I talk about my dreams, I don't want it to go, I guess, unnoticed, or I don't want to not say I'm grateful for what I have now, but I think it's okay to aspire for bigger and better things, so that is it. That's the answer to that question. The third question was separate budgets, because I've mentioned that my husband and I go to the grocery store separately, and we do, and I would say that, we do a lot of things separately, but his budget is so much different than mine because of his job. He doesn't really have time to sit down and have a meal that I like prep for him or anything at this new job. So he's more sandwiches, things of that nature, and we both do this. We both go to the grocery store by ourselves as like a means to unwind. I know a lot of parents do that, so yeah, that lends into the separate grocery purchases. He also eats a lot different than me. Like, he works out and uses protein powders and, you know, different protein bars and things that, you know, I wouldn't purchase. But yeah, we've been shopping like this since college. I've always worked in restaurants, so I was, well, up until, I mean, recently, but I was always fortunate to have food to take home with me. And then when I had Wilder, I was still teaching and waitressing at the same time because grad school is expensive, and I was paying on that. Hopefully that will change soon. We shall see if a decision will be made. But yeah, the interest on that was ridiculous, so I had to have 2 jobs, and it was a little tricky having a newborn and doing all that, but we figured it out. So yeah, that's when I got like really serious with YouTube, by the way. But separate budgets have always been a thing when it comes to food for us. And now we see it as a positive because we both get to kind of have our alone time at the grocery store. But I'm gonna stir this quick. All right, yeah. So I hope that answered that. But yeah, I hope that answered that. Next, homeschool. You're homeschooling. Yes, I am. My son is still 3 though, so I got a few questions like, when's that happening? What curriculum are you starting? And if we were to go home before, excuse me, let me grab my coffee while things boil. If we were to go home before he starts kindergarten, which he will be on the late end, so he'll actually be 6 when he's starting kindergarten. There are 2 schools back home that I would, that are acceptable to me. Being a teacher has opened my eyes to a lot of things. The districts back home are just a little bit more aligned with my beliefs, but I still have an issue with Wilder, especially being behind 4 walls for 8 hours. I know they have recesses, but it's just not how he thrives. It's not how I thrive. So that was my struggle in school. I was never a good student, I would say. I mean, I would say well behaved, but when it came to like bookwork, math especially, it was really frustrating for me. So that didn't work out. And it was back in the 90s, so kids learned differently, but I don't think the resources were there for the teachers. So homeschool is yes, that's what we want to do. I will be the teacher. There are so many homeschool groups though, so we'd like to join one of those just so we can be social. In Colorado, you can open enroll anywhere. Like you can just open enroll and bring your kid to a school, where back home you have to live in that district. So that's another thing when we think about land, when we move back home. I've never really shared where I'm from, but it's just like central, northeastern Pennsylvania is where we're looking. We're Eagles fans, if that narrows it down. So it's just been really tricky to think about that. I don't know what curriculum I'm using. It will not be a religion-based curriculum, and that's fine if you do, but I've had a lot of people like send me curriculum, and I'm just not there yet to choose. And I might take curriculum from a lot of different books and teachings and things like that. I'm not sure yet, so hopefully something geared more towards the outdoors. Next one, more kids. I get this one every time for the Q&A. Yes, I mean, I love kids. They're amazing. I would have 1 million. I would adopt 1 million. That was a question too. Adoption, would you? Yes, absolutely. Yes. It gets me emotional to think about how many kids don't have families, and I will say I've always been aware of that, but when Delilah was in the hospital, we were in the pediatric ICU for a while, and there were so many children without families there. I mean, and the nurses would go in and rock babies to sleep, and they just didn't have anybody, or the family was the reason that child was in the hospital, and it was heartbreaking. So if I ever did any volunteer work, I would go hold those babies and try and take any home that I could, because it's scary. But yeah, more kids, absolutely. I love kids. I love being pregnant, as sick as it makes me. I love everything about it. And then childhood, what were you like as a child? I had to ask my mom and dad for that one. My mom said I was creative. I was always making something. And my dad said I was adventurous. So that was, yeah, stay creative, stay adventurous. That's kind of what it came from. But I don't really remember a lot. I have a great memory when it comes to certain things that happened as a child. But the question that was related to that was, did you have a good childhood? And yes, I mean, I think I did. I made great memories. I was close to my family. Nothing, you know, terrible ever happened. But I mean, there was always struggles, you know, but I'm definitely one for, like, I hear it all the time, like, I'm this way because my parents did this. And while I think that kind of lends into certain ways, I don't blame my parents for anything that I am today, if that makes sense. It's hard for me to do these Q&As just face to face. That's why I'm always cooking and doing something else. That's how my brain is, if you're anything like me. So yeah, my childhood, I had a good childhood. And then I'm sure I was difficult as a teen. From what I remember, in college, I would not say, before I met my husband, I would not say I hung out with the best people. And I had some experiences that I would never want my daughter or children to go through. I picked the wrong guys. I will tell you that I picked the wrong ones. They are all long gone, unfortunately. They've either passed or they're in jail. So I've never shared that with you all, but I'm sharing it. I'm trying to be transparent here. And then I met Lee, and I always say he saved my life, and he did. I was making not great choices, and I met Lee, and he was a good kid. He was a Boy Scout. So he's always just been like a straight and narrow guy. So yeah, I wasn't the best for like 2 or 3 years there. And then I think coming out to Colorado really helped us, just getting away. Not from my hometown. There's positives and negatives to that, but like my adolescence, like I don't know, it just didn't really help being in that town. And it is such a small town, so I'm not making excuses for my behavior or anything that happened, but there's not a lot to do. So yeah, you always found yourself in trouble unless you got away. But wow, okay, I didn't think I was going to share that, but it just poured out of me, so we're gonna leave it in here. Let me stir this, and there's 2 more questions. All right, another one was, will you make your children go vegan? And I don't mean to laugh, but no, I will not. That is their choice if they would like to be plant-based like myself. I've started calling myself plant-based because people get really offended if I say I'm vegan. They say I don't have compassion for animals because I cook meat and handle meat for my family. And I eat like 10% dairy when I'm pregnant because it's the only thing I can keep down. So I've been calling myself plant-based. I get that if it offends people, fine, but it's my life, so it's really strange that people get so offended. But I mean, people are easily offended these days, and they just can't seem to just move on. I don't know, but yeah, I will not make them go vegan. That is their choice. That's something that I've always been steadfast in. Will I make them vegan dishes? Absolutely. And I do that every single day, and they enjoy it. But I make sure, we're keeping up with our health because it's really important to me. And if anything, I would want to expand their minds a little bit more about, holistic living, that there are other options than the standard American diet or typical like pharmaceuticals and things like that. So, there's a lot to be said about that, but it's something that I'd like to educate them on, which kind of relates back to the homeschooling. So yeah, that's a big part of it. I think that answers that one. All right, and the last question was the state of the world. How do you feel about it? I think we all feel unsure, but I'm trying not to let it consume me. So I'm trying to remain positive and educate myself, because that's really important, self-awareness and knowledge. Knowledge is power. So I encourage you to do the same if you're feeling a little leery about the state of the world. I do need your help. Thank you for coming up and asking. So we have mac and cheese in here. We just have the shredded cheese. I did milk and an egg just mixed up with some seasonings, and then a 4th block of cream cheese. And this is what it looks like. Can we see? Okay, so that's gonna go in at 400, and then we are gonna bake everything else. Mashed potatoes are pretty standard. Just steam them, season them with whatever you want. I think I'm gonna have some of that zucchini that I was talking about. Did I tell you about that? We got like a crazy sale zucchini. I think you saw that in the haul. So we're gonna do that, and then I will meet up with you later for my thrift haul. I'm so excited. Okay, everything is cooking at this point, but there was one more question. I was combing through the questions. Favorite song or band? It's a tough one. Stevie Nicks is my all-time favorite musician ever. Song-wise, all of her, but I guess second is, I love Pink Floyd, so they would be next, but favorite song, Pigs, 3 different ones from Pink Floyd, hands down. It just is an amazing song. If you haven't heard it, you should probably listen to it. It's a little life-changing. It really is. It's a great song. But some other, I love Loretta Lynn. I think it's Thelma Houston, the Don't Leave Me This Way. She's like my favorite. Oh, there's so many. I love all types of music, all of it. I'm constantly singing. I was brought up in a house that always had music on regardless, so I love it. The record player that my husband got me, our upgraded one, is just phenomenal. So I listen to all the classics on that, all of my favorites. I love Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, of course. Dolly, everybody. I do enjoy like hip hop and rap, not current hip hop and rap, but I like a lot of the 90s, 2000s, like late 80s, I don't know. But yeah, that was the last question. I totally forgot about it. So everything is boiling. We have nothing is boiling. Why did I even say that? The potatoes are steaming. We have zucchini and onions frying up. I'm just gonna top them with some balsamic and Parmesan for everybody else. Mac and cheese is in the oven. The elk, we're oven baking that, and I'm not gonna make the cornbread because I think that will be filling enough. I'll probably make a big salad and go from there. I am gonna start the thrift try-on haul because I have time though, and it is this dress right here. Guess how much right now? I'll tell you in a second, but it doesn't have pockets. It has a nice length, I will say that. The bottom is really beautiful, but I love it. $1.99. You heard it right, $1.99. So that's my first purchase. I'll show you the next one. Next one is this rolling pin. It's perfect for why I've been looking for like a actual smaller rolling pin for him. $1.29 with 50% off, so pretty good deal there. And it's in good condition, so pretty excited about that. I got Delilah, if you didn't know, is just such a huge fan of boots. She loves boots. So do I. But I found these. So cute. They were $1.99 too. I just wash boots like these. These are ropers, so that's good. I wash boots like these, and then if they have stains or anything, I just take a magic eraser or lemon essential oil, but super cute. She's a size 4, sometimes size 5. Toddler shoes are tricky. And then I also got her these. So cute. I think they will be good. We're gonna have a little birthday at a farm local to us, so it will be nice, but has a little buckle in there. These are not roper. These are TKS. I don't know what that is. Does someone know what that is? I don't know, but really excited about that one. I'm not going to try these on, but these pants are O'Neill, and they were $2.99. So they're just like long flare pants, and then it has a high waist. So you know how I feel last time I did this. Last time I did a thrift haul, I got pants almost just like these in a different color. So I really enjoy these for the summertime. And then, what else did I get? Oh, $2.99 as well. It's like a waffle knit, Wild Fable is Target. Just a waffle knit sweater. You know how I love my sweaters, so I thought it would be nice for the summer. I mean, honestly, I go out and I do the plants. This is a small. I feel like it's baggy. I love that. I mean, I wear only baggy stuff, but yeah, it'll be nice at nighttime. And then I got a few more things. Let me check on the food quick. All right, everything's coming along. I forgot to mention I got totes with lids for the prepper pantry, so that was pretty cool. I'm not going to show you a tote though. It's just a tote with a lid like we already have, but these are gray. And then I got this for Delilah for the fall. It's just like a it's like a velvety material, but it's a 3T, so maybe next fall now that I'm looking at it. I also got her this blue dress here. Super cute, super cute. And then I got myself this Altered State. I was gonna get it for the shop, but I thought it was cute, kind of like a baby doll hemline. I don't know. And then I found a flannel for Wilder, but he won't he won't stop wearing it, so I can't get it from him right now. But that is all I got from the thrift store, so not a lot, to be honest. There wasn't too many awesome sales. My goal right now, while dinner is cooking, is to go out and plant those tomatoes that I got and see how they do. I will show you as soon as they are planted. It's just, I'm not sure how it's gonna go, but we do have a late growing season, so fingers crossed. But I will show you the gardening haps as soon as we're done with dinner. All right, we've run into an error that I did want to show you a little hack for. The mashed potatoes, I just don't feel like this is going to be enough for everybody. My kids really love mashed potatoes, so I'm actually going to add some of the steamed cauliflower and mix that with it, and I think it will bulk it up and it will turn it into, my mom called it California mashers. I don't know what restaurant did it, but yeah, they're called California mashers essentially, but you could add anything you want to this. Squash, pumpkin, I mean, just about anything, but we're gonna add some cauliflower. Okay, everyone, here is, let me just grab a spoon for this. Here is the layout. We have mac and cheese, we have the elk, we did it like a medium rare. Yeah, everyone's very excited about this. I will not be participating, but I appreciate the amount of effort this took, and I think it's a very kind gesture. We have zucchini and onions in there with a touch of balsamic. And then here are our California mashers. I'm having a gigantic salad with some potatoes, but that's not until 8. I'm kind of on a schedule here with the starch solution and running. So I've shared that recipe before, but this is it. This is the spread.
Thank you.
Good job, honey. Can I see? Wow.
Look, I made
very pretty, Delilah.
Look at a big tornado.
You're making a tornado.
And
The kid is tornado obsessed after, was it
And
last
it-
year we had the tornado? Oh
and-
my gosh.
I see one yesterday and it was scary.
Where? Was I here? Oy vey.
Right up toward the wall.
Oh.